Alright guys, so in this video I'm just going to do a Q&A type video for beginner runners. So if you've just picked up running, you're new to running, you probably have some questions. So I wrote some down here in my notes and I'm just going to run through them one by one, and hopefully they can help you out in some way if you're wondering these things. So first question, is it safe to run if you're overweight? Yeah, it's safe to run if you're overweight, the same way it's safe to pick up anything with caution, right? So running is an impact sport, just like any other impact sport. You're going to want to take the proper precautions. For running, that means, going at a nice easy pace, making sure you have proper rest in between your runs, and you're sleeping well, you're staying hydrated, you're not pushing yourself too hard, and you're slowly starting to work on your running form a little bit. The problem, and I think one of the main reasons why people think running isn't great if you're overweight, is because there's a lot of assumptions when it comes to running. Like if you just think you can run, or a lot of people might just think they can just go out and run if they want to. And that's really not the case. It's like any other impact sport. So take the proper precautions, and I would say yes. Now, if you're, I would say, quite a bit overweight, if you have a lot to weight to lose, so I would say up to, let's say, if you want to lose 10, 20, 30, 40, maybe even 40 pounds you want to lose, you could pick up running with the proper precautions. Anything more than that, you might want to consider walking first, and then as you get walking and make that a habit, then you can slowly adopt running as you lose a little bit of weight. And I would say when you're picking up running, a walk to run or walking running plan is going to be beneficial for pretty much anyone that's brand new to running. And that means walking for an X period of time and then running for an X period of time, and just bouncing back and forth between the two. I wouldn't recommend running full on if you have quite a bit or a little bit of weight to lose and you're brand new. Next question, why is running so hard? Running is hard because it is a cardiovascular sport that requires a lot of effort, really. So if you're brand new to running, you probably haven't built up your cardiovascular system, and you probably have a little bit of weight to lose too, or you might, and that's just going to make things even harder. So give it time, be patient, don't expect you can go, miles and miles and miles your first couple times. Everyone's been there. I know I was there. So I would say just start off with doing something easy. Like if you really can't run, start off with going like 30 seconds or a minute running, and then back to walking. And if that's too hard, do 15 seconds of running, and then a minute or 30 seconds of walking, something like that. And then just get used to that, and then slowly add a little bit of more running in, and you should be all good. Can you lose weight from running? Yes, you can lose weight from running because it is a sport that burns calories. Again, the key to losing weight from running is you're going to want to be consistent. To be consistent, you got to stay healthy. You can't get hurt. So that means, again, going back to those precautions, making sure you're not killing yourself in every run, because that's going to put you at risk for hurting a muscle or tendon or straining something. And if you're doing that alongside maybe working on your diet a little bit, you don't have to go overboard with your diet. Even just a couple simple things, like cut out, start off with the easy ones, cut out fast food, cut out pop, and then from there you can start working on maybe snacking better, eating a healthier breakfast, drinking lots of water. But for diet, I would recommend only focusing on one thing at a time. So if you're brand new, I would say just try to focus on drinking the proper amount of water every day, and then once you have that a habit, move on to the next thing. Should you run if you're sick? That's a good question. It depends. The majority of the time, probably not, but it depends on what type of sickness you have. So if you have a head cold, like sniffling, sneezing, and the symptoms aren't too bad, I would say you can probably work out, maybe do an easy day or something like that. If the sickness is down in your chest, you know, if you have a chest infection or something like that, I would definitely say take the day off and rest. When in doubt, probably always lean towards the side of resting, just because it's a safe way and it's going to prolong that consistency. And I honestly, I preach consistency all the time, because that is the key. I used to get hurt all the time with running, and then I finally clicked it. It clicked in with me where I was like, oh, if I just don't get hurt, I can keep getting better and better and better. So that's what I always promote now. And also I should mention, anything, if I've ever made a video in the past about any one of these individual topics, I will link them down below, so check the description. And if there's something maybe you want to learn a little bit more about, just check the description and I'll post a video if I've made it down there. What are some simple tips to improve your running form? So I did mention earlier, you should be maybe focusing a little bit on your running form. The easiest thing I would recommend to fixing your running form if you're brand new is to make it really simple and just focus on 3 things, which is running easy, running light, and having quick feet. If you can start focusing on those things, it's going to allow you to land, you know, a little more softly. You're going to have quick feet, which is going to allow you to start landing under your body a little bit more. So instead of you leaning backwards and allowing your feet to get in front of you, with having quick feet, it ends up straightening your body back out a little bit, which is super beneficial to lowering that impact. And yeah, I would just say focus on those 3 things, and just slowly but surely you'll get better. It's not all going to happen in one day, but you will get better if you just keep focusing on those things. What pace should you run? I said this earlier, it should be your easy pace. That's the general term for it. But almost all of your runs, especially when you're brand new, should be your easy pace, which is also known as your conversational pace, or your zone 2 if it's heart rate. Everyone is different with that heart rate. It all depends on your personal fitness level and your experience in the past. But a good rule of thumb is you should be able to talk in full sentences while you're running. So if you can't do that, that means you're running too fast. It's too much of an impact. It's too much of a stress on you. You need to slow down. So always be thinking, can I talk in a full conversation right now while I'm going? If not, slow it down, or at least take a 30-second walk break and then come back to it just a little bit slower and see if you can really nail it in. Over time, that conversational speed or that conversational pace will actually get faster and faster. But for now, just focus on making sure that you can talk in full sentences. What gear do you need? You don't need that much when it comes to running. There's lots of ads out there, you know, trying to get you to buy lots of things. But if you already have running shorts, a t-shirt, and you know, you can go out and invest in a good pair of running shoes, I definitely recommend that. Go to a running store and get fitted for something. Get some recommendations from somebody that is in the shop that actually knows what they're talking about. That would be the best investment you could do. But you definitely don't need to go out and buy, you know, the armbands and like the special run specific clothing or anything like that. I mean, you could go and pick up a nice pair of socks just to avoid some blisters, but again, these are just things that you can pick up over time. Shorts, t-shirt, and if you want, go pick up a nice pair of running shoes. How far should you run? When you're brand new, instead of thinking in distance, I would recommend thinking in time. So distance doesn't weigh in like elevation changes and weather, if you have the wind in your face or stuff like that. So time is relatively consistent. So when you're starting out, try to find a nice flat spot and go by time. And I would recommend just doing a walk to run. So do a minute walk, a minute run, and do that 10 times for a 10-minute run, and that would be a perfect workout. So those are all the questions I have for now. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video.